This is Pajama Pants steps 4 through 8. I'm going to apologize in advance for my voice. I've had a cold and so it kind of cracks. Hopefully you can still hear me. Now, so far with this, we are on step 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are primarily working with putting pockets in. We are not going to demonstrate that today. If you're putting pockets in, you'll want to read the directions really, really closely and probably ask your teacher for a little bit of help. So we are going to be skipping steps 4, 5. We're going to kind of pick up part of 6 here, which is going to be sewing down these side seams. We'll be skipping step 7 and step 8. It's kind of a step that really isn't going to make that big of a difference, so we're going to skip that step as well. So coming right back up here to step 6, what we are going to do is use our imaginations and pretend that that pocket isn't there. What step 6 is wanting us to do is to sew down the side seams of our pajama pants. So last time we stitched the crotch seam and we serged this crotch seam. So our 2 front pieces are together and our 2 back pieces are together. What we want to do is we want to make these look like pajama pants because this doesn't look like pajama pants. So we just need to flip this a little bit. If you flip this up and then flip it over, we want to get a front to a front and a back to a back, but we want our pretty sides, which is the side without the seam, to be together. So now, if we've lifted up like this, we've got front pieces here, back pieces back here, our seams are on the outside here. Now what we want to do is just line up our side seams, pin them into place, and sew down them using our 5/8 inch seam allowance. You always want to start up here at the top and work your way down. If you've cut straight, this is going to go together fast and easy. If you haven't cut straight, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. We're lining this up, putting our pins in perpendicular to where we're going to be stitching. We're just putting the pins in to hold things in place. You'll notice our bottoms are matching up right nicely. What we do to one side of the leg, we do to the other. So there's our out seam. Then I'm going to pin this side. I'm going to match up starting at the top. I'm going to pin down. Once we've got that pinned, we are then going to, using our 5/8 inch seam allowance, we are going to line up the edge of our fabric on the 5/8 of an inch line. We're going to stitch a couple of stitches, and then we're going to back stitch. So stitch a couple stitches, back stitch. Remember, you can sew over pins. Some teachers will tell you not to do that. The biggest thing is going to be keeping that fabric lined up on the 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. The way I do pins, they're like lots of little fingers holding everything together so that your fingers can be doing other things. Occasionally the pins will get stuck there. It's always a good idea to have your needle down when you stop so that if you need to make adjustments, you don't have a little jag in your seam. We're just going to continue stitching all the way down. Some teachers will tell you not to sew over pins because it damages the feed dogs. In my experience, I've never seen it do enough damage to warrant unpinning the seams pins before continuing. Just going to readjust, make sure I'm just sewing through my layers, that nothing's getting caught up underneath. I'm going to work my way all the way down. When I get down to the bottom, I'm going to back stitch just 2 or 3 stitches. I'm going to put needle up and I'm going to trim my threads. I now want to remove all of these pins, make sure that I'm not taking them over to the serger with me. Then I'm going to make sure I serge right down this side seam so that I get rid of all of these frayed edges. What I do to one side, I do to the other. I'm not going to demonstrate the serging step at this point. You should have a good handle on the serger. We want to make sure that we're just barely trimming off the edge of this fabric and that our serging seam does not extend over our sewn edge. We'll review that step in the next video.